Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I'm bringing you the last episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the season finale, I guess. Season 10, episode 17, A Sit Down with Karen. Okay. If you are new here, welcome, y'all. Welcome. We do reviews here. This is the Diva Nation. And if you are returning, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back, man. Okay. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And we will begin. I don't understand why we're doing this. Okay. I said this in the last video. I'm just going to close this out. Okay. Because when they said they were just going to do an interview with Karen, I was just like, for what? For what? Just bring her back to the show. What we need to talk about her in jail? Why? Why? Or this could have been like 15 minutes after the season finale. I just really don't feel like we needed a whole episode on Karen Huger. I really don't. But I got to start I got to finish what I start. And I started Real Housewives of Potomac, so I'm going to finish it. So I watched this whole thing. I pretty much feel like Karen didn't accept responsibility for her being an alcoholic. Okay, but we'll get into this anyway. Karen get released from jail. She get in there with her little jailhouse braids or whatever. She get in the car. She wave at like about 5 people that came to see her after she got out of prison. And so she walks in. She greeted by Ray, Raven, and her sister. And she said that the ladies in jail took out their extensions and braided it into her hair, so she come out having braids. I didn't know you had extensions in jail. That's my question. I said, why they got extensions in jail? If you, I mean, I don't, and who, where? Okay, so you gotta keep up your hair. So how do they get extensions in jail? I don't know. But whatever the case may be, she said they braided it into her hair, and that's fine. Whatever. So she came home. She with no makeup, no lashes, no acrylic nails, no nothing. Okay. She sit down. She talked with her family a little bit. Then she said, "Listen, I got to go and wash this gel off of me, so I got to take a bath." So she go upstairs, and then it points to 1 week later. She come down with her legs all greased up because Andy coming to visit her to do an interview. Okay, so she got acrylic nails now. She got lashes. She got a wig on. She got makeup on, and her legs greased up because she had a little dress on that was blush and not brown. Okay, because Andy said, you got on brown now, or tan. That's what it was. And she was like, "No, this is blush. This is not tan," because apparently her jumpsuit was tan, and so she don't like to wear tan anymore. And he was like, "You got a tan on now, or beige or whatever." She was just like, "No, this is blush." Whatever, Karen, you full of it. As far as I'm concerned, I like you. I want you back on the show, but you full of it. You were full of it. Anyway, Andy said he sent her a letter, sprayed her with some Love Dawn perfume, whatever. Andy gets introduced to Brandon, who he has never met because he has never been on camera. And that's Karen's first son. Well, that's her only son. Okay. That's her only son. Okay. So he said that he was handling Karen's businesses when she was in prison. I don't know what business that he's handling. Maybe them candle, them 3-wick candle line or whatever. I don't even think they sell the Ladon perfume anymore. They may, I don't know. She did have a wig line, but we ain't hear nothing about that anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what, the last thing we heard was she had some 3-wick candles, and Wendy had 1 wick and she had 3 wick. So, but I know she had like a wig line. I don't know what happened with that. I know she had the Ladon perfume. I don't know what happened with that. So I don't know. Whatever. So Andy interviews Karen. So Karen basically said, "Well, let's talk about the internet. The video that broke the internet. Is Andy running this? Is Andy running this interview, or are you running this interview? Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, is Andy running this, or is you running this? And he's supposed to be asking you questions. Anyway, the video where she said she was Thomas Jefferson's concubine, and she admitted that she was lit, and so then they arrested her because she told him that you're not gonna tell me what to do, and so then they arrested her. Remember that when she tore her car up? Yeah. So she said she never watched it, nor did she told Ray that he can't watch it. How you gonna tell a grown man what he can watch and what he can't watch? Okay, you should have watched it because that's the reason why you went to jail. You should have watched it because that you admitted that you was lit. Okay, so yeah. You should have watched it. You probably wouldn't have spent no time in jail if you had to pled guilty. But no, you pled not guilty, and that's what you get. So, she said her lawyers told her to take a plea deal. But she didn't want to. And so Andy said, "Why?" And she was like, "I was under the influence." And she slurred prescription drugs. I was like, "Girl, what are you still under the prescription drugs?" She slurred the words and shit. And then she said, and then I was under the influence of drink. I said, "Well, what kind of fucking drink? Red Bull? Cola? What kind of drink we talking about?" Just say alcohol. What's the fucking problem? Alcohol, girl. Oh, she was working my nerves with that. Okay. And so apparently Giselle said she was offered a plea deal for house arrest, but Karen said she wasn't offered that plea deal. But she probably, if she'd have saw the tape, she probably could have offered the house arrest. But no, your dumb ass didn't want to watch the tape. That's on you. So when she said she watched the tape, she said she don't remember any of that, and she was blacked out during this video, this body cam video, whatever. Okay, whatever. Andy was like, you consider yourself sober? She said, "Yeah, I am sober." And so she said, but Brandon and Raven and Ray felt I had an alcohol problem 20 years ago. And that was her first DUI. Okay. So you have an alcohol problem, but you don't consider yourself an alcoholic. What do you consider yourself? Okay. So, she said, she got on prescription med. Okay. So they said, 20 years ago that she said, they felt like her family felt like she had a problem with alcohol. So she went to a doctor or whatever. And so then they put her on prescription antidepressants. Okay. So, and so then she said when her parents died, she increased the dose. Cause her one of her parents died and then the other one died shortly after. So she said she increased the dose. They didn't increase the dose. She increased the dose. And so Andy was like, well, what med was it? She said she can't tell him. It's just an antidepressant. So I was like, Prozac, Zoloft, Cymbalta, Wellbutrin, okay, Lexapro. Go ahead and say it. Okay. She said I could get sued. I don't know why. You are the one who, up the dose. Even your doctor can't sue you, or your doctor can't get sued because you are the one that up the dose. It wasn't the manufacturer, and it wasn't the doctor. You the one that up the dose. So you get what you get. Okay? You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. As far as I'm concerned. Karen said the drink never called me. Andy said it did that night. I know that's right, Andy. Shit. I know that's right. The drink never called me. Girl. What the hell? I'm just, She just irritated me through this whole interview because you ain't taking no responsibility for what you did. Okay? So she said I was running away from home. I was unhappy. I wanted to escape the unhappy. And so she said she was happy she didn't hit a person. Yes, you should be happy that you did not hit a person. You should be happy because you could have killed him and you would have been in jail longer. Okay? Because this is not your first offense. Okay? And then she says she has 4 incidents with alcohol. She had 2 DUIs, that one 20 years ago and this the recent one, and she had 4 incidents with alcohol. So alcohol is not a problem? Because you said alcohol never called me. But you have 4 incidents of alcohol. And alcohol never called you? Girl.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
It is the biggest piece of dog shit, as far as I'm concerned.
You stupid.
You are stupid, okay? Point blank and the period. So then she said that in jail she taught the AA and the NA class. And so Andy was like, well, how are you qualified to teach anything and you don't know what you're talking about, basically? She was just like, well, I went to rehab before I went to jail. You went to rehab for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You are not qualified to teach nothing. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Anyway, so she said that she stopped growing emotionally at age 19 because of her essay and because nobody believed her. Well, some folks believed her, some didn't. I get that. I do get that. But Karen, you are 62, 63, and you still doing the same shit that you did 20 years ago. Okay? The whole thing in life is learning experiences. Either you learn from your mistakes and you get rewarded, or you don't learn from your mistakes and you have consequences. What is You still having consequences because you have not learned. Okay, that's your problem. You still having consequences because you have not learned. If you are so miserable with Ray, get a fucking divorce. Y'all ain't even got no kids. You ain't even got no kids in the house. Get a fucking divorce if you are so miserable with Ray. If you are so miserable because your parents are not here, get motherfucking counseling. Stop drinking to soothe or taking prescription drugs to soothe or to escape your reality. You've been doing this for 20 years now. You need to stop it. Anyway. So Andy said, you are owning the narcotics part of this, but the alcohol, not so much. And so she said, well, I can blame other people who prescribe the medicine for me. But I can't do that with alcohol because I literally have to take the drink. So it's a blame game. So you don't want to admit that you are alcoholic because that means that you're not in control of how many drinks you take. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, prescription drug. They prescribe these prescription drugs to you, but they did not prescribe the dose. You are taking more than the dose. So it's still on you. Everything is on you, Karen. Because if the doctor's saying take 250 milligrams and you take 1,000 milligrams, that's on you. The doctor said to take 250 milligrams and you taking 1,000. That's on you still. That's on you. Okay? The doctor wants you to take 250 milligrams. You should take 250 milligrams. And if this is not clearing up your depression, you need to go back to the doctor and say, this is not helping. Can I get on something else? They got plenty of antidepressant. Prozac, Wellbutrin, Cymbalta, okay, Zoloft. You should say, that's not working for me. Can I get on a different medicine? They prescribe you Lexapro, whatever it is. Okay, if it's not helping your depression, but you don't just take extra doses so you can just black out. That's what you don't do. Oh boy! All right, so and so she said, I have a drinking problem, and I choose to live my lifetime in recovery. So basically, you want to still drink. Basically, is what I'm hearing. You want to still drink. You want to still have your occasional drink, your occasional wine, your occasional champagne, your occasional whatever. You ain't gonna do it on camera because everybody gonna talk about you like a goddamn dog. But when y'all not filming, you gonna have your occasional wine, your occasional champagne, your occasional drink or something, because she said the drink, soda, Red Bull, I don't know, the drink. Just say alcohol, baby. Just say alcohol. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. That you still want to drink. You just still want to drink. You want to just be a social drinker, but you can't be a social drinker because you have a problem. That's not for you. Social drinking is not for you. I don't have a problem. I can social drink. I got a fully stocked bar I ain't never touched until I get company to come over. But other than that, that bar stays stocked because I don't have a problem. Okay? You have a problem, ma'am. And it's okay. My uncle had a problem. God rest his soul. Okay? All right. So, yeah, miss me with that. Miss me with that. And so Karen was like, it's a lot of shame in saying that you're a drug addict or you're an alcoholic. Yeah, and that's the problem. You don't want to say you're a drug addict, and you don't want to say you're an alcoholic. Just admit that. Okay, even though you are. Even though you are. Okay. Okay. So Andy also brought his laptop so she can see the reunion, because she said she ain't never seen the reunion. And so they were talking about how Ashley said that she met a guy on the subway. I don't even know why she met a guy on the subway, whatever. Why she on the subway, but we're gonna leave that alone. That Karen drinks gets drunk at some restaurant called Legal Seafood, and Karen said that she admitted that she was like that's the truth. Ashley told the truth, but also Ashley said it was somebody else in the car, and Karen was like, nope, it was nobody else in the car. And then Wendy said the same thing about she getting drunk, at a restaurant, but she ain't say the restaurant stuff like that. But Karen was like, oh, I don't know what Wendy is talking about. Well, she may be talking about legal fish or seafood or whatever, but you just like dismiss Wendy. You was just like, yeah, Ashley this and Ashley that, but you just dismiss Wendy. And then and so he mentions they show when Karen did her little video, and she thanked everybody. Thanks Giselle, thank Candace, thank Kay. She thanked everybody but Wendy. And Mia clocked it, talking about she's like, I don't know why she didn't thank Wendy. And so Wendy was like, that's not my friend. And so Karen was like, well, Wendy knows why I didn't thank her. And she was like, and so she was like, so she, she's the one, she knows that why I didn't thank her. And so she was like, we can have a conversation about that. Girl. So, Karen, Andy said, do you think this show, helped, you spiral out? She was like, no. She said the show saved her, because basically the show gave her something to do, and she's not in the house with all her demons. And I'm not talking about Ray or nothing like that. Her demons internally, okay. And because Ray is doing his thing, and so she in the house by herself. So yeah, so the show gave her something else to do. So she said, she said she would have spiraled sooner. Yeah, I believe that, because Sharice already said that you had a problem with alcohol. Okay, you had a problem with alcohol. So yeah, and so the show gave you something else to do, and I'm glad it did give you something else to do. But Karen, come here, baby. You have a problem, and you need to admit it, and you need to take care of it. Okay. All right. So, and let me tell you something else. Okay. Because you have a drug problem, you cannot take drugs anymore. Okay? Because especially narcotics or something like that, you cannot take that kind of stuff. You cannot take, Prozac or whatever. You cannot take that anymore because you don't know how to handle it. Okay? You do not know how to handle it. You cannot drink anymore, ma'am, because you don't know how to handle it. Okay, if you live in your life in recovery, you need to live your life in recovery. That means nothing. Okay, you're not supposed to take a Tylenol and stuff like that. But I digress. Okay, I'm a nurse. I know what I'm talking about on that. Anyway, so like I said, they went back to the fact that she was emotionally stunted because her essay at 19. So you need to find somebody. You need to find a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist. You need to find somebody to talk to about this, and you need to get your life together. And if you are not happy with Ray, divorce him and move on. You need to find the happiness in your life, Karen, and I don't think that you're happy right now. I don't think so. You happy that you out of jail, but I don't think that you are happy right now. Okay, so so if you come back to the show, I'll be happy. I'll be happy for you. I just need for you to get your life. Okay, and if the show is not going to be beneficial for you, then you need to say your ass off this goddamn show. Okay. But what I want you to do is, you are 60 something years old. I need for you to be happy at 60 something. Okay? That's what I need for you to do. But this really irritated me pretty much the whole time. Okay? I'm sorry. But give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you on the reunion. Peace, y'all.